That had a lot to do with her lawyer funding and the miseducation of the children's mother. So, but bringing it even closer to home, on our USF campus, there was a noose hung in the fall semester of 2003. A noose hung. It was hung in Magnolia because I stayed there that year, and it's something that, as a USF student, it's something I'm going to always remember because it was my freshman year. And so don't think that we're so far removed. We're in another city, we're in another state, that those are high school students or those are other people and they from the backwoods or it's backwoods or their town allows that stuff, because here on our very campus we're still subjected to a lot of those things. Racial slurs, racial things being spray painted across our campus that, yeah, the school will act quickly to remove those things, but they're still there. These things still happen right in front of our faces. So just be aware of that. Don't let this be one of those things that just gets swept under the carpet because, like I said, we're kind of far removed. No, these things happen to us here. It affects us home. So keep that in mind.
Do you think what happened in Jena has the possibility of happening here in Tampa?
I would say I definitely believe that it definitely could happen here in Tampa. Reason being, I don't think it has anything to do with the size of the city. It can happen anywhere. I think until black people as a whole begin to get together and start rallying and pushing for different situations, then something like that would not happen. As I stated earlier with the incident that happened with Jennifer Porter. She was a teacher. She ran over, 4 students. And they gave her probation and she was let off. Tampa is not a fairly small city. So the possibility, it could happen anywhere. And I think if more organizations within the city would start backing money and putting money into things that would showcase these type of situations, it made great news here. But who's to say how big it was over in California, how big it was in Chicago, how big it was in New York? I think if the monies would start being invested into different situations, they will make the people aware, and you know what I'm saying, more things would be able to be done or whatnot within a situation that would definitely help the people. So I think it could happen in Tampa, it can happen anywhere, period.
Do you think that today we as students in this Black Student Union meeting made a difference today?
Well, quite frankly, most certainly. Anytime you bring awareness to an event or awareness to injustice such as this, you're absolutely going to make a difference, because it takes one person in here to spark some type of revolutionary spirit. Same type of revolutionary spirit that kind of separated students from the SALC to form the the SNCC, Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. You know what I'm saying? That Ella Baker, supported. So that same spirit is in this room here today. So obviously, most certainly, I do believe that, it can happen. And remember, if it can happen there, who's to say it can't happen here? Just to quote Martin Luther King, an injustice done anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. So, that's what I believe.
Leandra, how do you think we as a Black Student Union, as students, as people in the community, can make a difference with what's going on with Jena 6?
I believe that personally, the difference starts within the community, not just the Black community or the minority community, but a concerned community. We need to be more active in the voting process and the political process, because as Americans, we tend to be afraid of our government. And this is our government who is doing this to us. This is the law systems, this is the police systems. All of this is happening because we put these people in power. If we were aware of who we had in power, things like this wouldn't happen. If we knew that a judge that we put in power or a mayor that we appointed in power would enslave us mentally like this, we wouldn't have it. So we need to be more educated in terms of our governmental systems, in terms of our police systems, our law enforcement. We need to know what's going on in the community as a people. And also, we put the government in power. We need to learn how to stand up, and we can impeach a president. We could do all these things within our community. We need to learn how to stand up. We need to know our rights, and we need to be governmentally aware in the community. And that's it.
My name is Beverly. It comes to the point where even if injustice do happen and we try and make a stand against it and we have rallies, they try and shut us down by saying that we have an unlawful meeting. I have 2 cousins, they're in jail right now
because they live in a predominantly white city, and it's called Ocoee. It's in Orlando right there. And they were playing baseball with their friends, and they usually go to my auntie's house to like drink Kool-Aid and whatever. And their mother, like some of the kids, some of the kids' mothers decided to say that my two cousins were trying to kidnap their kids, and that they still had their baseball bats. So they said that, oh, that they were trying to assault her kids, whatever, and beat them down. That they didn't want, that my family didn't want to let her kids get out the house when her kids was upstairs hiding because they wouldn't get a beating or some crap like that. So she called the police and said that we're trying to kidnap them and that they were being assaulted. So now they've been in jail for 21 days. The bond is set so high that my auntie had to sell her house, the big house, 2-story. It's ridiculous. They had to sell her house to get bail. And they still want to let her kids out, so they're still in jail. One of my cousins have 6 pages of charges, which I don't even understand how you get 6 pages of charges if your kids were never touched. If we did not keep your kids in prison, her kids told her that we were hiding from you, but she's like, oh no, now we're brainwashing them. So today they had their trial. I don't know what happened. I got called home, but it doesn't look like they're gonna be out of jail anytime soon because their mother had like one of the best lawyers in Orlando that she can buy. She's like good friends with the mayor of Ocoee. It's a really small town. She's best friends. Her husband is in a high office. So we had a rally for it and they shut us down. We had the TV stations come out there and they refused to let it air on TV. So I just asked that y'all pray for them because injustice, it doesn't matter if we try. Instead, against they try and silence us. That's how it is.
In my house for nothing.
Hi, I'm Ludi. I was just going to bring up the point where Leandra brought in actually reading up on our politicians, who's getting nominated for office. And just with the Jena 6, you just look at 6 young men that are going to lose their privilege soon enough to vote. And a lot of the black men in the community have the right to, or now don't have the right to vote because they're already in the system. So it is really up to the people that aren't in the system to keep, you know, putting the voices out there that, okay, we need better people in the office. And just to think back on Walter Reed and how he said he was signing people's lives away with a pen, and then he brings up the issue that it was never a race issue. And he said it this morning that it was never a race issue, it was something else. And that they had to pay attention to the victim at hand, that we forgot about who got hurt, but really who really did get hurt when it all happened. So.